Hi, welcome to my channel. Today we're going to talk about creating some 3D art using random numbers uh, inside of THREE.js and a web browser using JavaScript. So let's go. We've got our basic 3 boilerplate, and I'm instantiating the orbit controls so that I can click inside the scene and just move it around. What's different than my typical setup is that I'm using an asynchronous function to initialize the scene, and I'm grabbing a couple of shaders and using a shader material to apply those shaders to this icosahedron, which is surrounding my entire scene. And the effect is that it gives me a nice background, kind of a nice background. That's all it is. If I were to make this wireframe, then you can kind of see that. Actually, that's kind of cool too, isn't it? Let me change that to a 6 or a 12. Now I've got this cool kind of this background of all these triangles. Should I get insane? That's really kind of cool. That's not what I was going for though. I've got a 2 or something like that. And then turn wireframe is true off. And now I've just got this nice gradient in the background. And so what I want to do is write some code to generate a bunch of these boxes and just kind of see if we can create something interesting from that. To get started, I'm going to say how many boxes I want. Let's say const num things. Maybe they're not boxes for you. Maybe you want to try spheres or load a model. I'm going to say num things is 30. And for let I to equal blah, 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 num things. And I'm going to say thing equals get thing, scene add thing. And instead of actually adding it to the scene, I want to be able to kind of look around inside of here. And I can do that with the orbit controls, but I want it to happen automatically. So I'm going to create a container and add that container to the scene, like so. And now, let's add container. Let's add the container. Oh, I broke it. What did I do? Get thing is not defined. Well, of course not. I didn't write it yet. It's just going to be a function get thing. It'll take an index argument like that. Right now it doesn't do anything. So wow, look at that. Thank you, GitHub Copilot. I'm just not ready to do that though. So after adding that container to the scene, I could say container dot rotation dot dot y plus equals this number, and save it, and automatically rotates. Of course, I didn't add the container. I didn't add the cube. So now the cube is slowly rotating as well. I love wireframe. You can see that wireframe cube. Actually, I don't even know if you can see that. It's pretty sketchy. Pretty hard to see. All right. Let's take this code here and put it inside our get thing. We're just going to return that. Return new. And now I've got a bunch of those things. What, you don't believe me? Let's say const mesh is equal to this new mesh, and the mesh dot position dot x equals math dot random. So that broke it. Let me just return it. Return mesh. Still hard to see. What if I gave that some random rotation as well? Mesh dot rotation dot y equals math.random times pi times 2. Okay, now we see all those guys. let's make the position Y random as well. And let's increase the, well, let's do, while we're here, let's do Z. And we'll multiply that by this range variable, whoops, which I haven't defined yet, but we will define. Let's define it here, const range is equal to 4. So that's gonna spread those out a little bit. What did I do wrong? Whoops, can't. Okay, because I have times. Where's the offending code there? Const range. Oh, here, random float. Thanks for automatically importing that. Minus range times 0.5. That's what I really want. Just paste that. So now those cubes are all kind of distributed. It doesn't look like much right now. Let's pull out this geometry. We'll say const geo is equal to that. And we'll add that back in there. And we'll pull out the material as well. And then we can manipulate those separately. We're going to instantiate the mat. But we want the color to be the color, because we're going to define that too. Const color equals a new 3.color. I do want that set HSL, but I don't want this mat.random here. I want that to be hue. Say const hue is equal to, yeah, that's the code I want. Math.random is greater than 5, so half of the time it'll be the hue of 0.15, and the other half will be that. Let's give it some more random rotation. Rotation.x. And while we're at it, rotation z. Okay. That's already looking pretty cool. I should distribute them on the z-axis too. Right? Kind of like that. Very cool. Now, the last thing I want to do is add a special kind of box. And that box is going to have a different material. Let's call this glass material. Const glass material is equal to new physical material. Roughness is 0, transmission is 1, transparent is true, thickness is 3. I don't care about flash shading. What's wrong with that? Oh, here. And now I'm going to say, hey, the material, this is, I'll call this flat mat. And we'll say this, that const mat is equal to, oh, math.random is greater than 0.5. Well, then flat mat. Otherwise, glass mat. And now we'll get this glass material in here too. And then it's got this cool lensing, which I really like. We'll save it and create it again. And we can experiment with fewer or more boxes. Start with 10. And we can, 10's not enough. Save it. No, 20. 20's pretty good. Last thing I want to do, I said that the other thing was the last thing, but I'm going to animate the background color by updating this time value each time. That's a little bit too slow. Let's make it a little bit faster. Twice as fast. So now the hue gradually changes while these boxes rotate. Oh, last thing I want to do. Really the last thing this time. Mesh.scale set scalar. 0.6 plus this math.random. So now we've got different size boxes as well. I'm not sure that's an improvement though. What do you guys think? No, right? Minimum of 2.5. Maybe that's okay. There you have it. Just some kind of fun abstract art slapped together really quickly. Not a lot of hassle, using nothing more than the stuff built into THREE.js. Try it with a model that you load and see what that looks like. I'll do that next time. Thanks so much. Make sure to let me know in the comments if there's something you'd like to see or if you have any questions or comments. Love to hear them. See you next time.